Donald Trump has sort of been on trial. Every time he appears on TV these days, people are just wondering, is he going to do something super strange that gives us an indication of the quality of what remains of his brains? And it hasn't been going well for him the last couple of weeks. Let's check in on what happened over the weekend.
I have no cognitive. She may have a cognitive problem, but there's no cognitive problem. And I'm not 80, and I'm not that close to 80. But in the Biden case, he's 81 or 82. Energy is so big, it's so like amorphous. It's all over the place. If you make donuts, it's a stove and the truck to bring them to wherever they're being delivered. So we're going to let him frack, frack, frack like a duck. Frack, frack, frack.
No cognitive. He's got no cognitive. I agree with him. I don't think he has any cognitive. And I love the ding on the 78. That's pretty close to 80, actually. That's almost as close to 80 as you can be to 80 without being 80, actually. Yeah, no, he's a mess. He's a mess. And it's, look, when he wanted to be like, Joe Biden's the one with the true problem. And a lot of people were like, well, why not both? That was already a weird situation to be in. But now where he's like trying to make us believe that Harris has cognitive problems. It's so random and so strange. I just don't understand it. It would be like if you just picked a random celebrity and started blogging every day about how they have dementia with no indication. It would be like, what is with you? What are you trying to achieve? Because we don't understand it. And in terms of the performance, that was a bad answer, but he had a mic problem. And so he paced the stage in silence for nearly 20 minutes. That happened this weekend. Now, look, you can have a mic problem. That can happen. We sometimes have mic problems or other problems that can cause problems. First of all, he's having a lot of problems at his rallies. Maybe he's not assembled the best team around him. But here's the thing. When the person passed out and he decided to play Ave Maria on repeat for 40 minutes or whatever, like, you can adapt. You can call an audible and you can do something for the people who decided to give you a day of their time and come to your event. With the mic, you can do something. Hell, at that point, maybe play Ave Maria if the mics aren't working. Just walking around, like you can literally see the video of him just sort of walking around as 20 minutes pass. That is the worst possible solution to that problem. Well, talking about Arnold Palmer's penis, I guess, would be the worst possible solution to that problem. But this is the second worst possible solution to the problem.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
And we have more weird moments. We'll get to them in a second. But Sharon, what do you make of this? What should he have done?
John, he quacked like a duck. Now, what he did, he quacked like a duck. What should he have done? Go the hell home and stop this charade. Do you understand that in communist countries, in dictatorships, Kim Jong-un puts on a better performance than this, pretending that this is a democracy and everybody loves him. To my knowledge, he's kidnapped, he's killed, he starved his own people. He's not quacked like a duck. What should he have done? Go to bed. Go to sleep. Take a nap. I don't know what else to say. I'm not good at this thing where you have to analyze someone who's gone off the deep end long ago and everybody else is just playing along. Why are we playing along? Why is everyone playing along? There's not one butthead who is, maybe a little sauced and yells out, get off the stage. No one's doing that. This is indoctrination. This is a hitch a ride on a hail bop indoctrination. That's what it is.
Hey, some of them left. They do frequently leave. I don't know if they left because of this. Some of them just get tie-tied and gotta go home. But yeah, it's very strange. This is not like, what if there's some sort of like emergency or crisis? You're just gonna wander around the Oval Office for 20 minutes? I just want to briefly mention before we go to break, because that was all weird. He only does friendly events now. He doesn't talk to anyone who might ask him tough questions or whatever, even Fox News at this point. Even the softball questions he can't handle. He was asked by a child who his favorite president was when he was little. So when you were a kid like me, as a 10-year-old, asking this question, who was your favorite president? And this is what he said. I'm going to read you the first paragraph. So I liked Ronald Reagan. I thought he was, look, I did not love his trade policy. I'm a very good trade. I've made some good trade deals for us, the USMCA. To a 10-year-old, he's saying this. That wasn't his strength, but he had a great dignity about him, Ronald Reagan. You could say, there's our president, more than any of the others. Really, any of the others. Great presidents, well, Lincoln was probably a great president, although I've always said, why wasn't that settled? You know, I'm a guy that it doesn't make sense we had a civil war. I'm going to pause there for a second before I reveal something truly horrifying about this. So he was asked a question about who his favorite president was. He came up with two potential answers, but all he could say about them was the ways that they had failed as president. He cannot even, it's a 10-year-old. He doesn't know what the USMCA is. He doesn't care. He just wants you to say, Ike was cool. That's what he wants. And he can't do it. Also, by the way, and thank you to the producer for pointing this out. He was 35 when Reagan was elected. He was not a little boy at that point. Maybe he doesn't remember. I don't know. But I want to show you a graphic, okay? Because what I just read for you, you might think, oh, that was his answer. That seems long and weird. No. That was the beginning of his answer. This is his answer. There's a brief line where Brian Kilmeade tries to get a point in, and then Trump goes back to an extended rant about everything other than Ronald Reagan. He's talking about Kamala Harris and the border and inflation, and none of this is just explaining to a little boy who your favorite president was. He can't do it anymore. He just can't do it. He's very exhausted, but he's more done than he is tired. He feels pretty done, but he's more done than he thinks. Any final point before we end this, Sharon?
Well, besides all the other adjectives, he's so lazy. He's just so lazy. It's like, this is the easiest quiz in the world. We're definitely grading you on a curve. We're not going to hold you to the same standard like the SNL skit pointed out on Saturday night. So all he had to do was come up with one name. It's like when Katie Couric asked Sarah Palin, what do you read? Oh, really? What do you read? And then people say, oh, that's a gotcha question. She wasn't reading anything. You're so lazy that you can't even say, well, Newsweek. Okay, maybe she was afraid Katie would then say, oh, what article did she recently? Probably. But who's your favorite president from a kid? That show, like, who's smarter than what is it, a fifth grader or something? He's so lazy and undisciplined. He has zero discipline that he can't even come up with, a plausible answer that is normal-ish. Instead, we get this gobbledygook trailing off nonsense.
It's when I was young, I liked Obama. I thought he was really inspirational. He really brought a lot of people together, and I think he cared about America and tried his best. That's an answer for a 10-year-old. Now, I was not 10 when he was elected, but I also wasn't 35. So anyway, this dark nightmare that we've existed in for a decade could be over in like 14 days. Please.
Wow.